Welcome back, FNUS57 here. Today I'm back on Fallout 76 on the Xbox One, and I will be showing you how to make 1400 caps extremely quickly with minimal time invested and minimal caps invested. You can do this every day, and you can do this on each of your 5 characters. So you're going to need a couple things to do this. Basically, this is going to the vendors and cleaning out their caps. So I'm going to show you which vendors to go to just as soon as they fix the server stability. Alright, so now that I'm on a server that actually works, like I said, I'm going to show you how to get the 1400 caps per day. The thumbnail is going to say 1200 because it's a little bit extra aggravation to get the last 200 caps. And basically, you're going to need a couple of things. I would recommend that you have the travel agent card to reduce the fast travel cost by 30% when fast traveling. And I would recommend that you probably have the through hiker card to reduce food and drink weights by 90% if it's rank 3, but it's really up to you. The basic principle of this is using items to go ahead and clear out the vendor's caps. Now, each vendor has a maximum of 200 caps, but most of the vendors are interconnected, which means they share the same cap pool, and because of the fact that they share the same cap pool, it makes it a lot more difficult to actually go ahead and get as many caps as you would like. The caps also reset once every 20 hours, so do keep that in mind. Now, you'll see I have my little base over here. I showed you in my building tips and tricks why I like this place. I've got a nice junk extractor. I can have all of my plants to produce plenty of adhesive, and I also have my industrial water purifiers so that I can go ahead and produce purified water. Now, where I like to start my journey is in Flatwoods. Sometimes there's also the fertile soil event there, which if the fertile soil event is up, you can go ahead and get some extra caps by doing that. So it costs about 10 caps with this card to fast travel to Flatwoods from where my base is. And total, we're going to spend about 60 caps, roughly, to get 1400 caps. Now, this video is going to help you by showing you where the vendors are, as far as which ones are interconnected. And also, I'm going to give you a few tips on what you can sell. So if you want, you can just wander around the wasteland and pick up basically anything other than ammo plans and any bulkable raw junk item. And you can pretty much sell everything else to the vendor if you want to do so. You can also use the hard bargain card to go ahead and sell items to the vendor for a few extra caps, or buy items from the vendor for a few less caps. So it's good, it's not great though. It's actually pretty trash.
Automated warning to all responders. Mr. Farmhands are out of control. Evacuate civilians and take down those supervisors.
I'm not going to bother putting on level 3 hard bargain, but this is the first vendor right here. And what you want to do is just sell him stuff to claim his 200 caps. So I made a number of marine tactical helmets. They cost 1 glass, 1 plastic, which is relatively easy to find, and 3 rubber. The rubber's the hardest part, but the glass and plastic you'll get a lot of. You can sell them. They sell for about 28 caps a piece. They'll sell for more the higher your charisma is. So since I'm using a unyielding set, they're selling for 28 caps. With hard bargain in a group, they usually sell for about 30 caps. And then you'll notice purified water sells for 5 caps. You can sell random stuff that you pick up, like the, Deathclaw meat, things of that nature. It's not really worth it, in my opinion. Usually to get the last couple caps, I either sell something like sugar or my personal favorite, bobby pins. You can also sell certain junk items like beer bottles, circuits, crystal shards, screws, nuclear waste, stuff that you cannot bulk. And you can sell those if you want to. You can also pick up any normal item, like say this snub-nosed pistol, and you can sell those junk items if you would like as well. Now the next stop on our tour of vendors is going to be right here at Sutton Station, which costs approximately 4 caps to go to. Now that we're arriving here at Sutton Station, I would also like to mention that if you are a higher level, you would probably be best off using nuked flora to do this, because you can collect it very easily each day, and you can collect a lot of it. But that means you do have to be able to go into a nuke zone. So just keep in mind, if you can go into a nuke zone, launching a nuke on White Springs, running around with the Green Thumbs card and the Good with Salt cards to go ahead and collect as much nuked flora as possible, and then sell it for about 10 to 11 caps a piece, is the fastest and easiest way to do this. It doesn't require you to craft anything. The other thing that I should mention is when you buy something from the vendor, you will get a percentage of your caps back. It's about 20%. And since the vendor's caps refresh on a probably 21-hour cycle is what I've noticed, you want to make sure that you do not buy anything from the vendor after you have gone through and collected the vendor's caps. The reason for this is because it'll reset that vendor's cooldown, and then, well, let's say I wanted to buy something and get 100 caps back from that. Now I gotta wait the 20 hours from when I bought that item to get the caps from him again, which is really annoying. So from Sutton Station, our next stop is actually going to be right where conveniently there is a nuke zone, but we don't need to go into the actual nuke zone proper. We are going to go to White Springs, and then if you are a member of the Enclave and you have the Enclave unlocked, you can go in to the Enclave, which is in the White Springs bunker, and you can get more caps from the White Springs bunker. That's why I put 1,200 caps in the thumbnail, because 1,200 caps are super easy to get. The 1,400 caps require a little extra work and a little bit of aggravation due to the most recent update that made it so where only one person can access the Modus terminals at the same time. Maybe they'll change that in the future, but at the time of recording, only one person can access the Modus terminals, and unfortunately there is, well, as you can see, a lot of loading screens. Now once you load into White Springs, what you want to do is you want to make sure that your game catches up so that the world's fully loaded and all your textures are there. This way you don't teleport backwards. And then you want to go into the actual White Springs Resort proper. And the reason why you want to come in here is because there's a bunch of vendors inside the actual White Springs, all sorts of vendors, and they're all interconnected. They all share the same 200 cap pool. Now, there is a visual glitch that causes the Modus terminals, which is the terminal in the Enclave bunker, to show that they have 0 caps. However, they actually have a separate caps pool, and I'll show you how to get that caps pool to appear in just a second. So the first thing we want to do is we want to just come to any of the vendors. It doesn't matter which one you go to. And then we're going to claim the 200 caps that this vendor has. Now, I didn't want to mess with launching a nuke for the purposes of recording this video, so that is why I have all these crafted Marine tactical helmets. Now for this next little part, though, because they did drop a nuke on this area, I'm going to have to use my power armor to avoid taking too much radiation damage. Where we want to go next is the actual White Springs bunker. which is right here. Now the problem is it's currently located inside a nuke zone. That's why I equipped my power armor. And you cannot fast travel to a location inside a nuke zone, which means you're going to have to go through the loading screen to load out of White Springs, then run over to the bunker and load into the bunker. So it's more frustrating, but it's an extra 200 caps. Now keep in mind the fact that you can only do this once every 20 hours or so. Also, your loading times will be worse when there is a nuke up in this area. Just as a heads up for anyone wondering why it's taking me so long to load in, that's the case. If you are wondering why my power armor is randomly missing pieces, that is due to the fact that there is a visual glitch that randomly unequips certain pieces of your power armor when you go through a loading screen with that power armor. It's really annoying, but it's unfortunately not fixed yet. So due to the fact that they placed the nuke the way they did, I will show you here's some glowing sap, which you can get some raw cobalt flux from. You can use that raw flux to go ahead and sell to the vendors. It's super easy to do that. Now, I don't want to spend time any more than what I have to in this nuke zone because I run a low health build. So I'm just going to casually walk up to the door here, and we're going to go into the actual White Springs bunker proper. Now, I could have gone into the back entrance that puts you in the robotics area. I just don't like going into the robotics area. So, personal preference if you want to go into the robotics wing or not. You do need to do the quest line and join the Enclave to get into the White Springs bunker here. And you will need to reach the rank of General in the actual Enclave quest line if you wish to be able to use the military wing terminals. So once we load into the White Springs bunker, now you have to actually get inside the White Springs bunker proper. So you have one more loading screen to go through. Most of the time I skip this particular 200 caps simply because the extra time spent at the moment I don't believe is worth it. If you are on a low level character or even a high level character, try to be careful of not attacking the robots. If you attack the robots, they all become hostile, and it's just not worth dealing with all of the hostile robots when you're trying to get some extra caps. Now, because I am a general in the Enclave, I'm going to go to the military wing terminal. You, of course, do not have to. You can go to any Modus terminal you would like.
More scores to settle above ground, we presume.
And you'll see that the side vendors are busy. Most of the time, the center vendor you can go ahead and interact with, but sometimes he is also busy as well. It's slightly annoying. And you notice that he has his own separate 200 cap pool. Now, if those 200 caps are not immediately available for you, don't worry too much about it. Try to sell one item and then come back and interact with the vendor again. You will notice that the Marine tactical helmets right now are only selling for 16 caps apiece. And that is due to the fact that I am in my power armor. So my charisma is a lot lower than what my charisma would be normally. And the raw cobalt flux I can sell for 6 caps. Purified water I can sell for 3 caps. Bobby pins still sell for 1 cap apiece because that's basically the lowest that they can go. So I don't like selling to the vendors in power armor for that reason, because with my unyielding armor, well, I have more charisma. Now our next stop is going to take us down here to the Watoga train station. It's roughly 18 caps fast travel cost from White Springs. Upon loading into the White Springs, or not White Springs, but Watoga, sorry, other W station, we're going to go ahead and run up here and talk to the vendor. There's usually not any enemies here, but there is a chance that enemies can show up. I'll show you, like I picked up a security baton. You know, you can sell that. You can sell, you know, any random weapons that you have and don't want. You can sell legendaries that you have and don't want. But those are kind of few and far between. So that's why I like to focus on items that I can easily produce, like the marine tactical helmets, purified water, and gathering the raw fluxes. Because the raw fluxes are super easy to gather. Just go into a nuke zone. Doesn't even have to be your nuke zone. And then usually I'll use some junk that I don't use very much. Like I don't use laser weapons hardly ever. You know, I don't use asbestos, so I sell that stuff that I don't need. You can also check each one of the vendors to see if there's any plans that you don't know. But remember that plans are very, very expensive. Now, unless you have done the Mayor for a Day quest, I would recommend crouching before you fast travel to the Watoga shopping plaza. It's roughly 1 cap or a short sprint over to the Watoga shopping plaza for yet another 200 caps. The reason why I recommend crouching is the robots are hostile in that area unless you have successfully completed the Mayor for a Day quest. If you have successfully completed the Mayor for a Day quest, one of the perks, arguably the main perk, is the fact that the robots are no longer hostile. So right here you'll see the Brotherhood of Steel icon and a Vendorbot Phoenix. Vendorbot Phoenix has a separate set of 200 caps for you. So you can go ahead and carefully sell him whatever you want. I did not make enough marine tactical helmets, but that's okay, because like I said, you can sell other stuff like your purified water, you know, junk items. Basically, there's tons and tons of stuff, and I love to sell purified water because of the fact that I can produce it for free. I don't have to worry about it. It's just something that I go back to my base and I collect. I don't use very much purified water. I don't use it simply because I don't need to. And as a general rule, I get the majority of the water that I could possibly want simply from doing events. Now, our next and final stop is going to take us all the way up here on the map, roughly 15 caps, to the town of Harper's Ferry. Inside Harper's Ferry is a separate vendor bot that you can sell another batch of caps to, or sell another batch of whatever you want for his caps. Used to be people would farm like the Mothman eggs and make Mothman omelets. You can if you want to. Also remember when you're crafting, another reason why I love the marine tactical helmets, if I am going to make any crafted item, is 1 glass, 1 plastic, and 3 rubber. And then if you put on a max level super duper, you have a 30% chance of making a additional item. So it makes the resource cost minimal for crafting all of those marine tactical helmets. If you don't want to do that though, just do purified water. If you don't build as big of a base as I did, you should easily be able to have 4 or 5 industrial water purifiers in that same spot. But I chose to have a lot of turrets and stuff. So now you'll notice that we have another 200 caps here. And I'm going to sell him the junk because this is junk that I don't currently need. I'll keep the nuclear waste. It's not bad junk. It's just I don't need it at the moment. Then I'll go back and I'll sell purified water. Right now, 10 of them would be 50 caps. So if I put 20 up, there's 100 caps. And if I sell the full 30 of them, there's 150 caps. And then 4 more to get the 20. And of course, 2 wonderful bobby pins to get the final 2 caps. Done. Now I'm up to 4,666 caps. And as you can see, if I wanted to, I could buy a different set of plans from him. He's got a few plans that I don't know, but that's alright because I don't want to buy any more plans. So let's review on the map. I started out at my base, collected and crafted my resources, fast traveled to Flatwoods and got 200 caps, then Sutton Station for another 200 caps, that's 400 total. Then I went to White Springs and added another 200, making 600 total. Then White Springs Bunker with the Modus terminals, adding another 200 there for 800 total caps. Then we went down to the Watoga train station, got another 200 caps there, making a full 1,000. Then the Watoga shopping plaza for 200 caps, making the 1,200 caps that are super easy to get. And a last pit stop at Harper's Ferry for the final 200 caps, bringing us to a grand total of 1,400 caps. This can be done once per about 21 hour day cycle on each of your characters. So if you want to work with another player and you want to make an alt character and then have your friend transfer stuff back and forth, or have your friend go to the actual fast travel location and then you learn the fast travel point for the first time, then you could go and sell extra purified water or whatever you wanted on an alternate character, at the very least to 3 or 4 of those vendors. But Harper's Ferry is dangerous. The Enclave Bunker you would have to be a member of the Enclave for. And it's a little dangerous to get to the vendor bot Phoenix. But if you don't have any junk on that character that you care about losing, then it really wouldn't be much of a problem for you. Plus you can see in the time that I've been gone, I can come back to my base. This water purifier had 2 water in it. This one had 1. And this one had 2. So I've already replaced another 5 purified water just in the time that I was gone selling all the stuff to the vendors. Super easy to do. If you have any questions or comments, anything like that, feel free to go ahead and leave a comment on the video and I will do my best to help you out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like on it and share it with your friends, as that greatly helps out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe for more content, and until next time, stay frosty.